cents. So let's get started. And for the very first ad, we have this wonderful Van Camp's pork and beans ad with a wonderful recipe for, wait for it, bean tuna salad. So it's Van Camp's pork and beans with 1 cup tuna, 1 cup diced celery, half a cup of mayo, seasoned to taste, and serve cold on lettuce. For picnics, serve with deviled eggs, pickles, olives, potato chips, sandwiches, and coffee. That sounds so, okay. So it's pork and beans, and tuna, and mayonnaise. After you eat that, you're going to need to take the sal hepatica for your stomach. This was a weird mineral salt laxative by Bristol Myers. Science looks at whiskers. That's a terrifying picture, but wow, what a cool looking razor. Oh my gosh, I love that. That is beautiful. $2 with 20 blades. There's the chic injector. That's scary looking. Didn't you hear Snookums? Kremel's reduced in price. Kremel removes dandruff, checks falling hair, not greasy, makes the hair behave. Starting causes more engine wear than all the running. The new motor oil, Golden Shell, Dodge, dependable Blue Seal vehicles. About $250 and up for an entire car. These were used cars, obviously. Iron Fireman. So it's an automatic coal heater. Prevents tongue bite. What? Edgeworth Smoking Tobaccos. And this is a beautiful ad for Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Champagne of ginger ales. It's gingervating. Wow, this is really beautiful. I love that. Aids digestion, fine with meals, especially for the children. Wow, look at these beautiful Packard cars. Oh my gosh, look at that. That blue, gorgeous. They certainly don't make them like this anymore, do they? This talcum powder. Absorbine Junior. Soothe that sunburn with cooling, greaseless Absorbine Junior. For everything sore muscles, muscular aches, bruises, sprains, and athlete's foot. Seagram's. Golf balls are made of rubber, and back of U.S. Royal Golf Balls is the world's largest producer of rubber. It States Rubber Company. Wow. U.S. Royal Golf Balls retail at 75 cents each. That's a lot when you could get an entire car for $250. Like, you could get an entire car for like 300 golf balls or 350 golf balls. Is that right? Somebody check that out. That's crazy. Come on. I mean, can that be true? Okay, I'm having a hard time with that. Anyway, let's look at these beautiful pictures of trains. Oh my gosh, aren't they fabulous? Now, these were already old trains by 1937. I'll have you know. Now, this was a more modern train of the time. You know, this was like a Back to the Future 3 train. Oh, used to chew off their legs. But animal traps, but now that Goodrich makes some rubber edges on the traps, the animal is less likely to chew their own foot off, okay? That's a terrifying ad. And here's some more old trains. Colgate toothpaste. Wow, what a great ad this is. 20 cents for the large size, 35 cents for the giant size. Celebrating quarts of lather in a tube. Look at that beautiful packaging, though. Love that. 104 cool shaves. And then Listerine toothpaste. More than a quarter pound of toothpaste. And the double-sized tube. And here we finally have the table of contents. And you can get a Year of Life magazine for $4.50. Oh look, Wrigley's Double Mint. A double pleasure is waiting for you. A double pleasure with double mint gum. Safe non-spy means the safe deodorant. Rotary telephone. The Bell telephone system. And here's an article. And here's some little miniature news stories. Here's the USS Tennessee stuck in the mud in San Francisco Bay. And this is interesting. Here's a solar eclipse. Beautiful photograph. And then this is an article about some of the labor strife that was happening in the United States in 1937. There were lots of strikes at steel mills and other places. And this is a spread about the new movie that was the sequel to All Quiet on the Western Front about World War I. It's called The Road Back. It's about life of some German soldiers after returning home from the war. And it looks very interesting. I actually like to read the book and watch this movie. And here we have the cover story. We have this adorable baby at the beach. And this is all about how going to the beach and swimming was quite a new pastime. And here are some wonderful pictures of what life was like at the beach in 1937. I actually had to censor a picture here for YouTube, but I still wanted to show all of these great bathing suits of the time. And we have some wonderful photographs of people diving. Beautiful. Look at that. Just gorgeous. What a beautiful sport. And then we have a color section of the magazine about this guy, Jules Bosch, and his art collection. This is a Goya painting. And this is a Raphael and a Crivelli. I'm not familiar with him. Raphael is beautiful. And this is a Ghirlandajo and a Frans Hals, one of the Dutch masters. So he had a very extensive art collection. And here we have a great ad for ice cube trays. The Presto tray. Look, it's just like a little grid that you can lift up and get the cubes out. And it's rubber. Kangaroo. Very busy ad for Pepperell fabrics. And this was another picture that I had to censor for YouTube because this ad for Simon Eyes had some nudity in it. Because your car's no nudist, so cover it up with Simon Eyes. And then here we have this very interesting ad for margarine, and it's telling people to write their congressman to get them to get rid of this proposed tax on margarine because they wanted to give it an extra tax because it was hurting the dairy industry. But of course the margarine makers did not want that. So they literally have a girl crying to get people to Special new prophylactic powder and brush. It's tooth powder in a can. Looks like a tobacco canister. And here's the toothbrush. Please buy promptly. Supply is limited. Look, it's the American Dental Association seal. They had it even back then. Excuse me, can you tell me if this toothbrush is approved by the American Dental Association? And this is a nice ad for Sinclair gasoline. And here we have Best Foods in the West and Hellman's in the East mayonnaise. What a gorgeous, colorful ad. You see, Jane, it's real mayonnaise, the freshest there is. Wow, this looks like a cover of the National Enquirer or something. Babies, keep well and happy in a house that's kept cool. Keep your baby in the refrigerator for maximum freshness. Chrysler's Air Temp Room Air Conditioner. Wow. Water-cooled model is $375. The air-cooled model is $496. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money back then. But see, they even had home air conditioning even back in 1937. Air Temp Incorporated, Dayton, Ohio. And more ice cube trays, but Frigidaire. Only Frigidaire has the meter miser. Slashes current cost. You can make ice cubes in your very own freezer. And then here's an article about forest fires, which are always a problem. And here we have a chic shaver, showing that you can even shave in this kind of weather on a ship with your chic electric razor. She's tap dancing on the ceiling. She's but a child. Nancy Joyce Darkin. She's 6 years old and her father is a milkman. Silver Dollar, straight bourbon whiskey. It's got a smooth punch. It's funny. And see, this was even supposed to be like a retro vintage looking ad even back then. Because see, it says like 1889. Respectfully restricted to men. Like the famous men's bar at the Waldorf Astoria, Fougere Royale is for men only. Shaving supplies. And then these are some pictures from a festival in Italy, and they're showing that there's Mussolini in one of the flower portraits. And here's an ad for Ingersoll watches. One good rule for keeping cool when it's getting warm. Drink gin, apparently. Some very grand houses in Europe. These are in Denmark. This Count's house in Denmark. And then this was Hamlet's Castle, Elsinore, Britain's new maritime museum in Greenwich. And the Aldershot tattoo. And this is not real. This is just like a set for this event. Crown Princess Juliana of the Netherlands. Russians train new generals as fast as they kill old ones. Front's military academy. Goodyear tires. And I'm to blame. Saying that it has a safety tube to help protect against catastrophic tire blowouts. Called the Lifeguard. Here is some shaving cream by Menon. And here's an ad for Hammond organ. $1,250. Wow. Misfit blades made my face and neck sore, says Detroit man. Gillette. And here's a little shower that you can just add to your bath, called a cabinet shower. And Chrysler's Flex Master. Look at that. That's great. And a Sunbeam iron. Look at that cute little sprayer. Doubting Dot convinces herself. You have a lucky shade too. It's from Lady Esther face powder. U.S. Groom of the Year. So this is Franklin Roosevelt's son. So this is FDR Jr. And then Rye Crisp. Have a bathing suit figure. Marion Talley tells how. Eating rye crackers and cottage cheese and lettuce. And here is this movie camera, the Univex, backed by written guarantee. Old Quaker Straight Whiskey, most beautiful truck in the world. Well, that really is a gorgeous truck. You really can't argue with that. White is the name of the truck company. Labatt's is the beer company from Canada. And here's a big 2-page ad for Pullman train cars. Wow, it's like a whole article. So it's just showing you all the different configurations of Pullman train cars. They have, ones with beds, usually one that convert from seats into a bed, and they just have various models. And then they have, a full bedroom that has a sink and everything. And then this one has 2 levels of berths. Taking a 500-mile overnight trip, your Pullman accommodation would cost about, so like if you wanted to have a bedroom for one, it would be $4.50 or $2.50 each. So $5 for 2. Life goes to a party with some teen-year-olds. What a strange way to put that. At a famous old tavern in Deerfield, Mass, where the Bennett School is holding its spring dance. Mom takes the odor out of perspiration. Electric fan with rubber blades. That's interesting. Samson Safe Flex fans. Green River blended whiskey. This ad is very interesting to me because this just doesn't look like an ad from 1937. It really has like a 1950s or 60s feel to it. So that's very interesting. Ahead of its time. The Snugger. The Snugger by Bradley. If you always wanted to be a Ken doll, here's your chance with the Snugger. That was entertaining. And oh look, Aquavelva. I had no idea that Aquavelva was around in the 30s. That's awesome. Frank Crosetti, great Yankees shortstop. Autolite spark plugs. In full color. Ignition engineered by ignition engineers. And here's a beautiful ad for more tires. The General. Seems strange to have a wedding and an ad for tires, but it's pretty. Pictures to the editors. People would write in and send a picture. And that's kind of like soap on your feet, or what's in it. It just says with its expensive olive oil base and other medications. Okay. Yeah, just rub this all over your feet. Trust us. And Hires root beer. Save some Hires for me. It tastes so good. It's good for you. It's the real root juices that make Hires taste better than imitation root beers. And this is an ad for businesses for the new Social Security requirements of, I guess, tracking your employees' payroll. Addressocraft Multicraft Corporation. And then on the back cover we have an ad for Lucky Strike cigarettes with Poke Carter from CBS Radio says, "My throat decided on Lucky's." Talking about how his job is hard on the throat, but these cigarettes are easy on it. Okay. Don't smoke, by the way. Well, that was a fun trip back to 1937 in this issue of Life magazine. If you made it all the way to the end, you could please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello and welcome to Dreaming of the Past. Today we're going to look at this issue of Life magazine from August 24th, 1959. And it has a cover story and this beautiful picture of Jackie Kennedy, a front-runner's appealing wife. And there's JFK in the background. Now, this was before the election. The election wasn't until November of 1960. So this is over a year before the election. So, let's get started. A beautiful, colorful ad for Ping Pong and Peely juices. Oh, they say pie lime or pineapple and lime. 3 delicious new drinks by Stokely Van Camp. You're in good hands with Allstate Insurance. £198. Why Volkswagen's aluminum engine is still years ahead of its time. And look at these adorable shoes from Brown Shoe Company. If activity is your kind of living, Air Step is your kind of shoe. And look, here's a little wedge low heel. And these very pretty dress shoes. And all the stores in the U.S. that you can get them. Sanforized. Wash and wear, not wash and beware. Says that they won't shrink when you wash them. The complete works of Shakespeare. The first volume in your Giants of Literature library. 25 volumes. Hellman's mayonnaise. This is no place for second best. This is the place for Hellman's. It's real mayonnaise. Subscription card. There's an ad for Admiral TVs. Wow, what a stylish TV. And it comes with a remote control. 21-inch and 23-inch screens. Strip coal mining. Letters to the editor. International Trucks, world's most complete line. Well, that's an interesting picture. Bluebell clothes for all the family. America's bargain rush to Europe. We never saw it so good. showing the tourists packing the Sistine Chapel. This is an article about how cheap flights to Europe are increasing people traveling over there. Austria's Lake Toplitz, they fill boat and line bank to watch recovery of phony British money, which was counterfeited and sunk by Nazis. Talking about people traveling to Russia. And showing the tired feet of the weary travelers pounding the pavement. Seems unnecessary. And this was the other cover story about mafia involvement and boxing. Editorial about Eisenhower, who was the president at the time. And a great Campbell's soup ad. Beef noodle soup instead of chicken noodle soup. It's interesting. Once a day, every day, enjoy Campbell's soup. Well, I'm sure the Campbell's company does want you to eat it every day. And here's some adorable Buster Brown shoes. Little saddle shoes. Wow, look at this Kool-Aid ad. Kool-Aid is the instant soft drink that most families like best. This is long before, oh yeah, and before Kool-Aid Man could walk around. This was about Khrushchev maybe visiting the U.S. There's Levittown. Well, here's Levittown. This is farmers. Gettysburg. Eisenhower had a farm at Gettysburg. United States industry. Dodgers baseball game. Look at this very modern furniture. My gosh, it looks like a car. Roller. United States Brewers Foundation. Beer belongs to the fun of living. Jello and ice cream. I've never tried that. What do you think? Don't let this week go by without Jello. And then this is a picture in France where a girl got hit by this car, but she's okay. Socks. Mrs. Ed Sullivan says to take Kodacolor photos. Eastman Kodak Company. There's Ed Sullivan. Kellogg's Rice Krispies. Eat them in a glass bowl balanced on a pile of peaches. They snap with energy, crackle with fun, pop up the muscles for everyone. And there's Woody Woodpecker. The secrets of a Roman cave. Excavating a cave that the Roman emperor, which one was it? Emperor Tiberius. That's Captain Kirk's middle name. Let's dance back to school in Lee tapered slacks. What is he doing to this guitar? I don't think that's how you're supposed to play it. here's some of the Roman statues that they found in that cave on the previous page. Wow, this is a great ad for Dr. Pepper. Frosty, man, frosty. Wow. The Jolly Green Giant is the centerfold. Medium small early peas with tiny imported onions. Where are the onions imported from? I want to know. Good things from the garden. Green Giant, great big tender sweet peas. Oh, this is a great ad. A zoo habitat for new styles. A zebra coat. Is it a real? Yes, that's a real. That's a real zebra hide. It's $1,500 at the time. And then here's a camel hair coat. That was $225. I have a camel hair coat. Oh, jacket. Oh, what a beautiful green dress. Oh my gosh. It says the dress has feathers on it, but I don't see them. $500. Oh no, I think this is the feathered dress. Yeah, this is the feathered dress. And this one is the evening gown. And this dress was inspired by penguins. And this coat is not real polar bear, it's fake fur. What an interesting coat. Inspired by giraffe. Cheetah. I think that is a real cheetah coat. Calvert Reserve whiskey. Giants. Willie McCovey. Pro toothbrush. Pennzoil. The motor oil that makes people mad if they don't get it. Mayo spruce underwear, sportswear, sleepwear for boys. Article about lilies. Puss in Boots cat food. Once a day, every day for lifelong nutrition. Wonderfully healthy and how they love their daily meal of Puss in Boots. Little Siamese kittens. Gordon's Gin. Showing you how to plant lilies. They're telling you not to put sand under them. Free stereo phonograph at all record stores displaying this poster. Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic keeps hair groomed longer, makes hair feel stronger. There's no other hair tonic formula like penetrating Wild Root Cream Oil. You got that? Some of the movies that were coming out. Blue Denim. Phillips Milk of Magnesia. Peter Pan Girdle. The Douglas DC-8. Wow, look at that. The world's most advanced jetliner. Fresh frozen orange juice from Florida. Powerhouse of vitamin C. You need orange juice every day because your body can't store vitamin C. this is the first cigarette ad we've seen. Oasis. Menthol mist. And here we have the article about Jackie Kennedy. And here they are at their house in Georgetown when he was a senator. There's Jackie walking on the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal. That's a really great picture of her on her horse at sea. The horse is named Sagebrush at her mother's home on the Potomac River in McLean, Virginia. And there's a picture of her in Caroline, Cape Cod. And that's Eunice Kennedy Shriver. There's Jackie. There's Jack. There's Teddy and his wife Joan and Sergeant Shriver. Here's a picture of Jackie and John. Oh no, that's Caroline, excuse me. Moss Hart tells how he stumbled into a career, but at first fell flat on his face. Moss Hart, the playwright. Underwood sardines. They also make the deviled ham in cans. Teen form bras. More from the Moss Hart article. Look at this cool pink Western Electric telephone. Bassett furniture. Wow, the bedroom dresser looks a lot like the buffet for the dining room. Fruit of the Loom underwear. See how there's no cornucopia. Classmate shoes. Tums. Special student rate for Time magazine. 1 year for only $3.87. Wow. Esquire socks. The Governor. It's quite a name for a pair of socks. So, normally 27 weeks or half a year of time was $1.97. Autumn in Paris, less than 7 hours by Jet Clipper from New York. That's about the same amount of time it takes now because we're now in the jet age by 1959. $272 one way, New York to London. $294 to Paris, $346 to Rome. Good old Pan Am, world's most experienced airline. Post Toasties, cornflakes. All Post cereals happen to be just a little bit better. A nostalgic evening in Newport, Rhode Island. Italian cartwheel. So, this is interesting. We have a can of Chef Boyardee marinara sauce or Chef Boyardee spaghetti sauce. Water, minute rice, 8 frankfurters, pickle relish, and optional mustard. So you make like Spanish rice and put hot dogs with relish on it. This is a preview of a future issue of Life. The astronauts' own stories will appear only in Life. When one of these men becomes America's first space voyager, you will read his personal story. So these are the Mercury 7 astronauts. And at the time, they didn't know who was going to be the first one to go up. And it was actually Alan Shepard, which I think that's him. No, I'm not sure. And he's doing a handstand on some rocks that are just barely covered by the water, so that gives the illusion that he's doing a handstand on the water. Gilby's gin and vodka. And on the back cover we have Lucky Strikes. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike. Well, that's the end of this issue of Life magazine. If you enjoyed it, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome to Dreaming of the Past. Today we're going to be flipping through this copy of Life magazine from April 28th, 1972, and it originally cost 50 cents. And this magazine's cover story is The Marriage Experiments. And they're going to be talking about 4 different couples with 4 different types of marriages. So let's get started. On the inside front cover, we have this color ad for Winston filter cigarettes. How good it is. And then over here we have the table of contents and the letter from the editor. And here's a 2-page ad for Excedrin. This pain reliever is significantly more effective than common aspirin. That's the evidence from not 1 but 2 medical research studies. It's time you tried it yourself. And then here's a coupon you can return for more information about Excedrin. This is a great ad with Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut who just been to the moon back in 1969. And it's a very wordy ad for Volkswagens. And then over here we have a color ad with a piece of coal in a museum case. This vital resource is becoming extinct. General Electric is working on its successor. Men helping man. General Electric. And the ad is talking about their involvement in nuclear power. These are some pictures from inside Attica Prison. Over here we have this cool ad for the Ford Torino. More car than you expected. We have a very strong respect for other people's money. The 1972 mid-size Ford Torino is very strong proof of it. It's a cool looking car. What a 70s color. 2-page full color ad for Salem cigarettes. There's a lot of ads in these magazines from this era for cigarettes and alcohol. The TV review. And another beautiful full-page color ad for Colgate for the double ring of confidence. Colgate with MFP fluoride. Okay. I like this little atomic symbol they have. The big car inside our little car. The Chevy Vega. Chevrolet building a better way to see the USA. They used to have their jingle in their commercials was "See the USA in your Chevrolet." And a color Sherwin-Williams paint ad, because of course a paint ad has to be in color. What can you do about today's $75 a day hospital costs? marriage is going to go up. There's a book review. And this is an ad for Sylvania flash bulbs for your camera. Bronchade helps rid lungs of excess phlegm. Haber Hills, where you can get a diver's watch for only $9.95. Henry McKenna Bourbon, the one table whiskey left in America today. I'm not sure what table whiskey is. Here's a KitchenAid dishwasher. My parents had a dishwasher similar to this with the wooden butcher block top. Here's a list of places you can buy KitchenAid dishwasher. Wow, look at this great ad. Arrow. Stapler. That's really fun. Faster, better, cheaper for 1001 home fix-it and home improvement jobs. Shoot a staple wherever you drive a nail. Well, okay. Arrow Fastener Company, Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Pioneers and pace setters for almost a half century. 100% washable coffee pot by GE. Years ago in Life magazine, they're showing pictures of kids dressed up like Davy Crockett because the Davy Crockett TV show was the most popular show at the time. Here's them moving at an Episcopal church. Richard Nixon in the Everglades. Pall Mall filter cigarettes. Polaroid's Focus Flash 400s. Letters to the editor. Here's the coupon you're supposed to clip to tell them of your new address. And here's an article about Vietnam, which you would see in pretty much every issue of a weekly magazine like this at the time, although Vietnam was close to ending by this point. Very nice color photography from the war. Here's an ad for Renault cars, which were imported from France. And here's a full color ad for Virginia Slims cigarettes with their famous slogan, "You've come a long way, baby. Slimmer than the fat cigarettes men smoke." Yes, ladies need to smoke long cigarettes. Puerto Rican rum. You can stay with it. The rums of Puerto Rico. This is the centerfold full color ad in the middle of the magazine. Quaker State motor oil, the oil that stands up for the little guy. And then here we have the feature article from the cover, The Marriage Experiments. The Schulmans have a 50-50 marriage agreement that's down in writing. This is an article about a couple that has a contract dividing up all the household chores. No babysitter, duty spouse stays home. children also have a contract. And here's a full-page ad for the Buick Opel. This was a partnership they had with a European company. Opel 1900 Rally. Disassembly line. This is an ad about how much electricity a car shredder uses. So it's the people at your investor-owned electric light and power companies. I really like the artwork in this one. And we have the advice column about relationship questions. A full-page ad for Marlboro Lights, featuring their famous cowboys that they used in their advertising. Chrysler Corporation. If you want a torsion bar suspension standard in an American-made car, your choices are Cadillac, Eldorado, Olds, Toronado, or all Dodge, Chrysler, and Plymouth cars. You'll find torsion bar suspension on every Chrysler Corporation car built in North America. I don't know what that means. And then here is a couple with a troubled marriage, near divorce, the Maxwells battle over liberation, sex, and status quo. And here's an ad for all these great posters that you could buy through the mail in the 60s and the 70s. Here we have the famous Raquel Welch poster. Then we have some more generic football. Lazy Lion. Tennis. The Age of Aquarius. Superman. Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal. Paul Newman and Robert Redford. Then you send this coupon to Poster Prints. And they're all $1.50 or $2 each. Drain Comfort Core Whole House Air Conditioning. Little things mean a lot when you're plunking down money for whole house air conditioning. Whole house air conditioning was a lot more rare in 1972 than it is now. The Good Stuff Old Grandad Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It may be the reason some women marry for money. Well, as far as I know, this is on the bottom shelf at the liquor store, so not the best stuff. Oh, look at these classic Chrysler station wagons with the wood panels. Oh my gosh. We built 3 different wagons exactly the same way with plenty of room. These cars are huge. This is the Chrysler Town and Country, the Plymouth Sports Suburban, and the Plymouth Satellite Regent. Wow. And they've got like an entire Boy Scout troop here, coming through with the kind of car America wants. Walker's Deluxe. This is a 1930 Pierce Arrow Model B Roadster. Classic straight 8 with rumble seat side mounts and matched touring luggage. What a beautiful car. And they're somehow trying to compare it to this bourbon. Viceroy cigarettes. Oh, they're not around anymore. Get a taste of what it's all about. Get the full taste of Viceroy. Miss McCann and Mr. Estridge, unmarried, have a new baby girl. What a scandal. Juliet is illegitimate by law, not by love. Stan and Joy Potts are frontier-style tea partnership. These people got color spread. High spirits amid the harsh realities of the wilds. We see them living off the land. Most women give too much of themselves to the children. She takes a bath out in the forest. Dodge Dart sales soar over 1 million. Dodge, depend on it. High resale value of the Dodge Dart. The Dodge Dart Swinger. The Dodge Dart Demon. Special golf ball offer from the Dodge Boys. And then we have collective marriage. 7 adults and 4 children keep house together. And here we are at the last page. So, at the end here, they have a life reader questionnaire. What's happening to marriage? And they want you to fill out this survey, and they'll publish the results in an upcoming issue. And it has questions like, do you approve of group marriage in which several couples share everything? Should a couple make a formal contract specifying which duties each has? And then they want to know your demographics. And then on the inside back cover, we have Seagram's. And then on the back, Bel Air cigarettes. Just the right touch of menthol. I've never heard of this brand before. So, well, that's the end of this magazine. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you could please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos and share it. I'll see you next time. Bye. A Kodak camera gift. What's a nice looking car like you doing in a Volkswagen ad? General Electric portable TV. Isn't it adorable? I love this. General Electric's family gift parade. Just remember 555-1212. Hello and welcome to Dreaming of the Past. Today we're going to look at this issue of Life magazine from December 2nd, 1966. On the cover we have the Greek actress and later politician Melina Mercouri. And since this is a December issue, we've got some fun Christmas ads inside too. So let's get started. Put your hand over the graph and see how much younger I look. Okay. Well, he obviously looks younger on the right half because they didn't put nearly as many lines on that side of his face. This is an ad for Great Day from Clairol. And here we have a Hoover electric frying pan with a warming tray underneath. That's a good idea. So it won't cook the bacon, but it'll keep it warm. Max Factor's Royal Regiment gift list for men. Aftershave, cologne, a cologne cannon. Fire the cologne at you. And Cannonball soap. That's cute. Table of contents. And a Julie Andrews Christmas record that you could buy from Firestone for $1 for the first one, but additional albums are $4.98 for stereo and $3.98 for hi-fi, which I guess means mono. It's Firestone presents Your Favorite Christmas Carols, Volume 5, Julie Andrews and Andre Previn. Evans butane lighters. Wow, those are neat looking. Very stylish. And a Kodak camera gift with film. A little flash cube. Kodak Instamatic 104. Less than $20.
And then here's the Instamatic 404 for less than $60. And the Kodak Instamatic movie camera, less than $40. I think my parents had a camera similar to this. And here's some more Kodak cameras for the holidays. Instamatic 154, slide projector to torture your friends and relatives. Instamatic 804, less than $125. That's a nice camera. Super 8 projector, Super 8 movie camera, and a different Instamatic M4 movie camera. General Motors ad. So I suppose that this is like a view from inside the car, because this is the sticker on the window and he's the buyer. I guess that's what they're trying to convey. Not the best car ad. Here we have Admiral TVs, a little portable TV for less than $70, and a subscription card for Life magazine, only $6. And for the Life 2-in-1 issue on photography. It's a nice looking car like you doing in a Volkswagen ad. And this is something called the Volkswagen Fastback. I've never seen one of these before. It's really neat looking. Have you ever seen one of these? It says Gardner. Lovely leather accessories. My blue nail polish. It's a nice contrast with her red. I really like those rings. I'd like to find something like that at a vintage store. Pro hardware stores. Never heard of that. But they're having a Christmas sale. Where you can get a little transistor radio, Black & Decker drill kit, an electric shoe polisher. Everybody needs one of those. Automatic lamp, appliance control, Christmas wrap, canisters, fake Christmas tree, and lights. And here is the Encyclopedia Americana, a competitor to the Encyclopedia Britannica. And so here's how much it costs. It says, as illustrated, $299.50, $10 down, $10 a month. Available in combination with other sets at prices ranging from $349.50 to $499.50. Wonder what the other sets were. Van Heusen shirts. They were around back then. They still basically look the same, because I mean, how many ways are there to make a button-down shirt? And here we have a General Electric portable TV. Ooh, this one's in color. Very nice. $270 for that little guy. That was a lot of money back then. I love this big console TV though. Look at the wooden details. Soft whiskey chased the chaser away. Calvert Extra. It's an RCA tape recorder. A reel-to-reel one. So from the top, this is an 8-track player. This is a reel-to-reel recorder, and this is a battery-operated reel-to-reel. NBC Radio and Valentine's Scotch. This is an ad for Life magazine, and here's an ad for 7-Eleven money orders by American Express. See, the reason why the store was called 7-Eleven was because they were open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. McNaughton Canadian whiskey, the Smith Corona typewriter, comparing how much you can write in 30 seconds versus how much you can type in 30 seconds. And here is the typewriter. Isn't it adorable? I love this. Oh, power space. What is that? I wonder if it just sort of like automatically does 2 spaces instead of doing this, you just do that. Wow, it really saved time. Ford advertising, hey, we have seat belts. Because, those were a new invention in the 60s. My parents talked about how in the 60s, they took their car in to get seatbelts put in because it didn't come with any. Then this is just describing all the standard safety features on all the 1967 Ford cars. And here's some Schaefer pens for gift giving. Love her outfit. And the Ford Fairlane 200. Look at that car. It's so long. How does it even fit in a parking space? I love that color though. Letters to the editor. And here's an ad for Timex watches. World's first electric wristwatch for ladies. Lovely. Companion to the world's most popular electric wristwatch for men. The ladies' electric is $45 and the men's is only $40. Well, that's not right. And here we have a photo spread about Egypt, and it's focusing on their repair of this statue that you see here that's missing its head. And then here is the mummified head of Pharaoh Ramses II, builder of this monument. And at the beginning they have this quote from Shelley Ozymandias with the famous, "Look on my works, ye mighty in despair." And so here is them working on that statue. You see it's missing its face, but it also gives you a nice view of how the statue was created, that it was made to be in pieces like this. And so here is the face on a truck being moved into place, and then there they are lowering the face onto the statue. A delicate nudge puts Ramses into place. Impressive. Look, there's a person under there. That's a scary place to be with all that stone above you. Sun rises as Pharaoh planned. This is a monument that's in pieces. It needs to be reassembled. Actually sent it to the United States to be on display. And it wouldn't be the 60s in Life magazine without an update on the space program. So for this one, Gemini's last mission is a Lulu, now onto the moon. I'm afraid I am not up on my 60s slang to know what a Lulu is. I guess it's a good thing. But anyway, and this is Buzz Aldrin, who would later go on to be one of the second man to walk on the moon. I don't think anybody knew that he would be on that first mission yet. And this is also Buzz Aldrin doing a spacewalk, and these pictures were taken by Jim Lovell. And take that again. And here we have the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. So that is Wallis Simpson, the former King of England, after he abdicated, of course. And over here we have this wonderful ad for Swanson frozen dinners. I'll have some of the orange. And this is the 3-course turkey dinner. So we have cream of tomato soup. That's what that is. Lovely. And you have your turkey and gravy, some peas, mashed potatoes, and the apple crisp. Don't forget to remove the foil from the apple crisp a few minutes before it's done so that it truly does get crispy. We gave your great-grandmother a Merry Christmas. Now we have something for everyone in the family. This is Singer, which makes not just sewing machines. And aren't these cool-looking sewing machines? I love that. But they also made record players, typewriters, and vacuum cleaners. And Lucky Strikes. Here's a photograph of Japanese people protesting over the price of milk, so they're dumping it in the river. And here's another pen that you can give for gifts. Parker pens. That's a neat looking pen right there. Parker 75. $25 in solid sterling silver. Wow. Sure, heavy pen. How do you make a long distance call when you don't know the telephone number? Just remember 555-1212 for long distance information. Brought to you by AT&T. And here we have the cover story about Melina Mercouri, and this is about her training to be a dancer and a singer for a Broadway show of Never on Sunday, which was the stage version of a movie that she was in 1960, and she was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress. And then years later, they turned it into a Broadway show when she came to New York. We have some great Zippo lighters. Look at that. We've got sports design. Gold-filled shimmer is what this one's called. Solid 14 karat gold, $175. Wow. Fancy. And then, in later life, Melina was actually elected to Parliament in Greece. And then a few years after that, she was made the Greek Minister of Culture. And then here we have an ad for the rums of Puerto Rico. Make some rum nog. And sadly, she is smoking a cigarette in this picture. And then she passed away at the age of 73 of lung cancer. And here we have Admiral Color Console TV. I really like this one. I like this one better than that one. And then here we have console stereo. The Toastmaster electric knife with these other appliances. Whip and chill tonight. Like Netflix and chill, I guess. Vanilla Crunch Parfait from Whip and Chill from Jello. I feel like that didn't catch on. And so this parfait is made with a package of the vanilla Whip and Chill and grape nuts and orange marmalade. This sounds awful. This one sounds okay, but still kind of weird. This is the fruit cheese pie. The filling doesn't need any cooking, but it's got gelatin, can of crushed pineapple, sugar, cottage cheese, lemon juice, a package of the Whip and Chill and cherry, put in a pie shell. So that sounds kind of weird too. But then over here we have an ad for Rolf's wallets. Look, here's an old American Express card. That's what they used to look like. Full color 2-page ad for Del Monte ketchup, the only ketchup made with pineapple vinegar. That's interesting. And this is also an interesting way to get a rebate, 25 cents if you mail in the neckband from one. But then you can also hand in this coupon in the store for 7 cents off. An odd number. Sawyer's slide projector. Again, competition for boring your family and friends. And here's an ad for pennies. Christmas is no time to give the man in your life a basic gray sweater. Showing you the rainbow of sweaters that you can buy. General Electric's Family Gift Parades. New lovely appliances. Food Center 21. This great yellow side-by-side fridge freezer. We have dishwasher with the butcher block top. Portable color TV. Clothes washer. Console stereo. This is a very unusual one. It looks quite short. This one's very odd looking. And here we have a stove, but I don't know this. So this is the main, so there's an oven, the cooktop, but up here, it's not a microwave. I'm not sure. And then this is part 2 of a multi-part series about American families, or this one American family, the Smiths. I'm really not sure. why they were focusing on these people. But there's quite a long article in here about them. Line guard antenna systems. Apparently you needed a more powerful antenna for color TV than you did for black and white. And here we have Pontiac. This is the Pontiac Grand Prix. Very cool. Convertible. Robin dolls. Fashion spread. Shawls and sequins from a rag picker's paradise. This is about old clothes. That dress is beautiful. I love that. Here's this old shawl from the 30s. Old granddad. And the fancy decanter. The 67 Plymouth Barracuda. Wow, look at this. This is the Sports Barracuda. Love that color. And this is the Barracuda hardtop. And the Barracuda convertible. Very cool. $24.50. America's lowest price sports car. Ronson lighters. A lot of lighters at this time. These are cool looking. These look kind of big though. I guess the perfect gift for someone who already has a Ronson lighter is what, a case for it? Oh, it says, well, another lighter. Some more fashion in London. Say it's a 1925 dress. Interesting. That's cute. And this is a game called Clock a Word. Press the lever, a new group of letters appear, the clock starts ticking. The action begins as you and the other players race each other against the clock to make the longest possible word in the shortest possible time. This one didn't really seem to catch on though, did it? Peggy's dismal when she's having her period, but Peggy's bright with my doll. And here's another cute dress. Looks like it's also from the 20s. That's adorable. And take Arm & Hammer baking soda for your heartburn and add for the Peace Corps. And then this is an ad in a magazine for magazines. This new invention shaves 3 hours closer. It's an ad for this little Remington electric razor that really looks like a little transistor radio, doesn't it? Get a haircut, hippie. And are you ready for some football? More football. Michigan State. We have the Dreyfus Fund. Is this lion just demanding that you give it all of your money? True blue cigarettes. True green cigarettes. And here is the article that was on the cover about U.S. hospitals and how they're terrible. And it's about the new ideas that they were coming up with for new modern hospitals. Like the fact that the way that hospitals at this time, old hospitals were laid out, things were just too far apart. So they want to design them that things are more accessible for emergencies. Calms anxiety, lifts depression as it relieves headache pain. Anacin. It now has a combined new action that actually calms anxiety and helps lift your depression as it turns off headache pain in minutes. Do they make Anacin anymore? And now you're cooking with gas. For clean modern cooking, gas makes the big difference. More bourbon, Old Taylor Kentucky bourbon. A man needs jockey brand support. Only while he's surveying, I guess that's what he's showing here. Chic on your new Chevrolet, wheel covers of stainless steel. Choose your favorite hubcaps. And here we have the 67 Malibu sports sedan. Not quite as cool looking as some of the other cars we've seen, I think. Precision made in West Germany, Decora cameras, because remember, there were two Germanys, West and East Germany. Joel Carson, unitized television. What is this for? Are we selling the TV? Oh, this is a horrible ad. Imperial whiskey. Everybody's getting whiskey for Christmas. Joe's sausage. Real farm sausage from a real Wisconsin farm. Dr. Gravel. Pipes. And this is the Weathermate comfort meter. Shows you the relative humidity and temperature of your space. 1967 American Motors. We have the Rambler wagon, the Rambler, the Rogue convertible, and the 220 sedan. Fujica Instant Load Super 8 movies. That's really cool. Very small. Johnny Walker Scotch. Advertisement for subscription to Time. Here's the reply card. 27 weeks for just $3. Perhaps hospitals should be raised every few years. Well, that would be very expensive. Helbros calendar watch. Never heard of this brand before, have you? This is the science section. Computer that really cares. And this is like a sculpture, though, created by British cartoonist Roland Emmett. That's sort of making fun of computers. Here's the drawings of his designs. I really like his art style. Never heard of him, though. And here we have Polaroid cameras. This one's under $60. This one's under $150. Checkers Scotch whiskey. And this is the cartoonist here with his sculpture. Quick Quaker Oats, 1 minute. Bundle him up inside too with hot Quaker oatmeal. I can't put my arms down. Here we have the Chrysler. It's a terrible color. Why is he hiding under the dock? And here we have a photo spread of a dog and bones from out of the swimming pool. And here we have a bunch of portable TVs from Magnavox. Gosh, choose your size. Interesting. Portable TVs were very popular. Okay, so what's going on here is it's like a billboard for being put up for a movie with Max von Sydow, and it's a bird flying in front of it. It looks like he's raging against the pigeon. I think that's what they're going for in this final page. And we have one final decanter of bourbon for your consideration for Christmas gifts. And then on the back, Pall Mall cigarettes, new luxury length. Well, that's the end of this issue of Life. If you enjoyed this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Hello everyone, and welcome to Dreaming of the Past. Today we're going to be flipping through this copy of Life magazine from April 28th, 1972, and it originally cost 50 cents. And this magazine's cover story is The Marriage Experiments. And they're going to be talking about 4 different couples with 4 different types of marriages. So, let's get started. On the inside front cover, we have this color ad for Winston filter cigarettes. How good it is. And then over here we have the table of contents and the letter from the editor. And here's a 2-page ad for Excedrin. This pain reliever is significantly more effective than common aspirin. That's the evidence from not one, but 2 medical research studies. It's time you tried it yourself. And then here's a coupon you can return for more information about Excedrin. This is a great ad with Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut who just been to the moon back in 1969. And it's a very wordy ad for Volkswagens. And then over here we have a color ad with a piece of coal in a museum case. This vital resource is becoming extinct. General Electric is working on its successor. Men helping man. General Electric. And the ad is talking about their involvement in nuclear power. These are some pictures from inside Attica prison. Over here we have this cool ad for the Ford Torino. More car than you expected. We have a very strong respect for other people's money. The 1972 midsize Ford Torino is very strong proof of it. It's a cool looking car. What a 70s color. Two-page full color ad for Salem cigarettes. There's a lot of ads in these magazines from this era for cigarettes and alcohol. The TV review. And another beautiful full-page color ad for Colgate for the double ring of confidence. Colgate with MFP fluoride. Okay. I like this little atomic symbol they have. The big car inside our little car. The Chevy Vega. Chevrolet building a better way to see the USA. They used to have their jingle in their commercials was "See the USA in your Chevrolet." And a color Sherwin-Williams paint ad, because of course a paint ad has to be in color. What can you do about today's $75 a day hospital costs? Know that they're just going to go up. Here's a book review. And this is an ad for Sylvania flash bulbs for your camera. Bronchade helps rid lungs of excess phlegm. Haber Hills, where you can get a diver's watch for only $9.95. Henry McKenna Bourbon, the one table whiskey left in America today. I'm not sure what table whiskey is. Here's a KitchenAid dishwasher. My parents had a dishwasher similar to this with the wooden butcher block top. Here's a list of places you can buy KitchenAid dishwasher. Wow, look at this great ad for Arrow. fix-it and home improvement jobs. Shoot a staple wherever you drive a nail. Well, okay. Arrow Fastener Company, Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Pioneers and pace setters for almost a half century. 100% washable coffee pot by GE. "17 years ago in Life magazine, they're showing pictures of kids dressed up like Davy Crockett because the Davy Crockett TV show was the most popular show at the time. Here's them moving at an Episcopal church. Richard Nixon in the Everglades. Pall Mall filter cigarettes. Polaroids focus flash 400s. Letters to the editor. Here's the coupon you're supposed to clip to tell them of your new address. And here's an article about Vietnam, which you would see in pretty much every issue of a weekly magazine like this at the time, although Vietnam was close to ending by this point. Very nice color photography from the war. Here's an ad for Renault cars, which were imported from France. And here's a full color ad for Virginia Slims cigarettes with their famous slogan, "You've come a long way, baby." Slimmer than the fat cigarettes men smoke. Yes, ladies need to smoke long cigarettes. Puerto Rican rum. You can stay with it. The rums of Puerto Rico. This is the centerfold full color ad in the middle of the magazine. Quaker State motor oil, the oil that stands up for the little guy. And then here we have the feature article from the cover, The Marriage Experiments. The Schulmans have a 50-50 marriage agreement that's down in writing. This is an article about a couple that has a contract dividing up all the household chores. No babysitter, duty spouse stays home. The Schulman children also have a contract. And here's a full-page ad for the Buick Opel. This was a partnership they had with a European company. Opel 1900 Rally. Disassembly line. This is an ad about how much electricity a car shredder uses. So it's the people at your investor-owned electric light and power companies. I really like the artwork in this one. Then we have the advice column about relationship questions. A full-page ad for Marlboro Lights, featuring their famous cowboys that they used in their advertising. Chrysler Corporation. If you want a torsion bar suspension standard in an American-made car, your choices are Cadillac, Eldorado, Olds, Toronado, or all Dodge, Chrysler. Chrysler and Plymouth cars. You'll find torsion bar suspension on every Chrysler Corporation car built in North America. I don't know what that means. And then here is a couple with a troubled marriage, near divorce, the Maxwells battle over liberation, sex, and status quo. And here's an ad for all these great posters that you could buy through the mail in the 60s and the 70s. Here we have the famous Raquel Welch poster. And then we have some more generic football. Lazy Lion. Tennis. The Age of Aquarius. Superman. Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal. Paul Newman and Robert Redford. Then you send this coupon to Poster Prints. And they are all $1.50 or $2 each. Drain Comfort Core Whole House Air Conditioning. Little things mean a lot when you're plunking down money for whole house air conditioning. Whole house air conditioning was a lot more rare in 1972 than it is now. The Good Stuff Old Granddad Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It may be the reason some women marry for money. Well, as far as I know, this is on the bottom shelf at the liquor store, so not the best stuff. Oh, look at these classic Chrysler station wagons with the wood panels. Oh my gosh. We built 3 different wagons exactly the same way with plenty of room. These cars are huge. This is the Chrysler Town and Country, the Plymouth Sports Suburban, and the Plymouth Satellite Regent. Wow, and they've got like an entire Boy Scout troop here, coming through with the kind of car America wants. Walker's Deluxe. This is a 1930 Pierce Arrow Model B Roadster. Classic straight 8 with rumble seat side mounts and matched touring luggage. What a beautiful car. And they're somehow trying to compare it to this bourbon. Viceroy cigarettes. Oh, they're not around anymore. Get a taste of what it's all about. Get the full taste of Viceroy. Miss McCann and Mr. Estridge, unmarried, have a new baby girl. What a scandal. Juliet is illegitimate by law, not by love. Stan and Joy Potts are a Frontier-style team partnership. These people got color spread. High spirits amid the harsh realities of the wilds. We see them living off the land. Most women give too much of themselves to the children. She takes a bath out in the forest. Dodge Dart sales soar over 1 million. Dodge, depend on it. High resale value of the Dodge Dart. The Dodge Dart Swinger. The Dodge Dart Demon. Special golf ball offer from the Dodge Boys. And then we have collective marriage, 7 adults and 4 children keep house together. We are at the last page. So, at the end here, they have a life reader questionnaire. What's happening to marriage? And they want you to fill out this survey, and they'll publish the results in an upcoming issue, and it has questions like, do you approve of group marriage in which several couples share everything? Should a couple make a formal contract specifying which duties each has? And then they want to know your demographics. And then on the inside back cover we have Seagrams. And then on the back, Bel Air cigarettes. Just the right touch of menthol. I've never heard of this brand before. So, well, that's the end of this magazine. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you could please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos and share it. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello and welcome to Dreaming of the Past. Today we're going to flip through this beautiful issue of Life magazine from 1949, and the cover story is about pearls. And I don't know what it is about this cover that makes the camera go crazy, but let's get started. Special thanks to my friends Teresa and Jeff for finding this beautiful issue for me. So, this first ad is this gorgeous ad for Studebaker. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is so beautiful. I like how the hubcaps are green too to match the body of the car. Oh, the style of cars back then. We have Goodrich tires, showing you how the weave is so much tighter than the other brand. Wella cholesterol treatment. Adds softness, silkiness to dry, brittle hair. Hair looks beautiful, doesn't it? And Columbia Records, because you prefer uninterrupted music. Long playing records. The 33 RPM LP that we're so familiar with became the standard format. You can have South Pacific and Beethoven's Night. Look at this cute little record player for $9.95. Investment for income. Free booklet, The Modern Way to Invest. Yeah, I'm sure it's not a scam at all. Although they do seem to be popular. And look at this fun ad for Canada Dry Water. How can it be dry water? Is it a powder? You add water, make it water. How to break a drink. How to make a drink. Pinpoint carbonation makes drinks taste better. And an ad for Lane Cedar Chest for $50. This one looks very similar to my mom's. And an ad for the movie The Heiress with Olivia de Havilland and Montgomery Clift. I've never seen it. Ball Band weatherproof boots. That one is adorable with that heel. Oh my gosh. Love that. Good tasting Eno for acid indigestion, constipation, sick headache, and dullness. I really want to know what's in this. I mean, it's some kind of a salt. And look at this gorgeous car. Wow, a DeSoto. Yet another car brand that doesn't exist anymore, but look at that color. Wow, what a car. Gift wrapping. 123 piece assortment. 25 cents and one box top from Chiffon Soap Flakes. I don't know why that was hard to say. And a GE toaster. Bet that toaster still works. $21.50. Phillips Milk of Magnesia. Antacid action to help you sleep. And laxative action to help you wash your hair. I don't know. Oh, waistline comfort. Doesn't that look so comfortable? Tony Home Perm. Which Tony twins win your vote? So, who do we think wears it best? Eleanor and Jean. Betty and Barbara. Barbara and Beverly. Joan and Jean. Marjorie and Mary. Or Charlotte and Antoinette. I like Marjorie and Mary and Eleanor and Jean's looks. But that's just my preference. I don't know. What do you think? Cast your ballot. Gosh, we've already seen kids. And we're only on page 14. We've got the Vitalis. Bringing in the 50s with the Vitalis. I think my dad used to use Vitalis. Alligator rainwear. Look at how, I hope it looks better than this. This drawing is awful. So boxy. Gosh, he looks like, 3 kids in a trench coat. Did Nico T. Crystal filter cigarette holder. Classy. Here's why so many doctors recommend Denico tea. How are you supposed to say this? This is awkward. Makes any cigarette less irritating. To you, not to the people around you. And this is a spread book showing common photography mistakes. Interesting to see bad photos in Life magazine. Prevent tooth decay with Colgate ammoniated tooth powder. Ugh. But we're putting ammonia in the tooth powder now. Ugh. There's a solarization effect. It says it's a complicated process involving exposure of a negative during development. I think developing film has really become a lost art, hasn't it? Oh, look at this adorable little Life ad. Santa. Oh, that is so cute. So 50. The 50s are coming, everybody. They're coming. Look at this wonderful. Borden has really good ads in this era. Here's a holiday party where the hostess has a good time too. Says Elsie the cow. Well, Elsie wouldn't lie to me, would she? Mincemeat. U.S. Gateys. November. Yeah, we're in November because there's a lot of bad weather ads so far, but look at these adorable boots. I can't stand it. Oh my gosh, I just cannot. Oh, wow, I want those. B, Peerless Velveteen. Smartly furred, gray, burgundy, blue, brown, and black. They come in different colors. Oh my gosh. And look at these. Wow. And look, they look like little cowboy boots. My dad would have wanted those. And then these little green. They just don't make stuff like this anymore, do they? Or maybe they do, and I just don't shop at the right places. Traffic jam in Rio. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. I'm just gonna leave this one right here. Mary Martin really likes this brush. That's awesome. And another perm. Richard Hutnet. Oh, permanent. Oh, what a lovely hairstyle. Promo Seltzer. Fights headache 3 ways. Colio for your false teeth. Shirley Temple and David Niven. Kiss for Corliss. Oh, that is gross. Because she's still young and David Niven is in his 40s. Okay. Oh, but they say she's still a teenager. Jockey Long Johns. Do your toes have woes? Get quick relief with Band-Aid foot products. And Duff's Devil's Food Mix. Can't get enough of that wonderful Duff. Cake server, 50 cents, but it's worth $2.25. More women bake with Duff's than any other brand of mixes. Oh, wow. What a great ad. Love it. IBM. Releasing the human mind. Looks like a vacuum tube. Well, they're kind of on their way out, IBM. Hey, Cheez-Its. Made by Sunshine. Still. That's interesting. Good. Any old time. Cracker with that swell cheese flavor. Castle Films. So it's like a news review of 1949 that you could get as a film. Because it was before home video, obviously. And here's a big, really busy, overly busy ad for Dodge. Here, dear, have some coffee. Look how much, say it's room here in the shoulders. Yeah, there's too much going on in this ad. Very modern in that sense. Nobody knows I'm deaf, she yells. use something with sonotone. I assume it's some kind of hearing aid. Yeah, it's a hearing aid. He has something special. He has PA. Prince Albert in a can. Why don't you let him out? Oh, and here's a wonderful GE ad. Look at that. Sort of a Norman Rockwell-esque, but not as well done. It's a toothbrush lab. What a pretty ad, though. I mean, these toothbrushes look like art glass. Lovely. Dr. West. Not familiar. Yardley English lavender fragrance. That goes back a long time, doesn't it? The Prudential has the strength of Gibraltar. And here's an ad. Not bad. Here's an article about the end of strike in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Steel mills. The articles were getting longer in Life magazine than if you remember the issue from 1937. The articles were very short, but the articles got longer as time went on and more wordy. This one still is not as wordy as they will become, but it's a lot longer, it has more pictures. Wow, inside a steel mill. And more articles about labor. Oh, wow. The picture of the week is at Notre Dame de Paris, and that's a gargoyle. And this is the accurate use of the word gargoyle, because you see it's a drain pipe. And most people think that a gargoyle is any statue that you see on a cathedral, but nope. The gargoyle is the drain pipe, and the other statues are called chimeras. Plane crash, the worst crash in aviation history so far. 55 died in Washington, D.C. Bolivian airplane. No, what happened? Oh no, a Bolivian P-38 fighter jet. Well, no, fighter propeller plane crashed into an Eastern airliner that was landing. Oh, it's terrible. But the pilot of the P-38 survived. And here's pictures of all of the victims. Wow. A B-36. All men that can stand on the wings. Look at that gorgeous wedding dress. Tearing down a steeple on a church in New York City. And look at this great ad. Campbell's put the kettle on to make these soups for you. 21 kinds to choose from, including ones that you never see anymore, like oxtail, pepper pot, Scotch broth, mutton, vegetables, and barley. What's another one they don't make anymore? Consommé, bean with bacon, or chicken gumbo. Wow. Yeah, they used to have a lot of interesting soups that they don't make anymore. Oh, look at this beautiful 2-page ad for Lifesavers competitor, Curtis Fruit Drops. Was it strained butter, rum, and butterscotch? Oh, wow. And you can get this little truck for 89 cents that comes with the candy. Oh, that is adorable. Oh, and Curtis is who made Baby Ruth Butterfinger and Coconut Grove candy bars. How to make a man peach happy. Bird's eye sliced peaches. I'm surprised this doesn't include a recipe. Governor Thomas Dewey. Telecron. Oh, that's a great name. I like that. General Electric affiliate. What a neat looking clock. Plexiglass. That's awesome. Mutual life insurance. Band-Aid ad. And here's a competitor to the Lane Cedar Chest, Dillingham. And everybody. The meat team. I don't know why I find this so funny, but meat. This country isn't just 48 states. Well, it won't be for long. This baby looks 70. American Meat Institute. Lucky's pay more. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Robert Ruark, columnist. He looks like a fun guy, doesn't he? High and sunny and almond fragrance cream. And another home perm. I think this is our third home perm. By Rave. R-A-Y-V-E. The Dial Wave. Carter's Triggs. More Long Johns. And Libby's Pumpkin Pie. Cannon's Christmas Carnival of Towels. Oh, and here, these comes with some little slippers. Love that color blue. And this one's made up to look like a bouquet. Champion Spark Plugs. Wow, there's so many beautiful ads in this issue. This one is perfect for framing. I know there's a lot of people that buy these magazines and take them apart and just sell the ads. Milk seltzer, Mayflower donuts, kangaroo leather. It's the strongest there is. My husband had a pair of kangaroo leather soccer shoes that he loves and still talks about. Medico filtered pipe, Granddad bourbon. It's a torch run, but it's not for the Olympics. It's for a charity. Statler Hotels. This is the, the Muppets, the old guys up in the balcony, Statler and Waldorf. This is where Statler comes from, and Waldorf is obviously the Waldorf. Oh, this is a wonderful spread. We're getting ready to enjoy Hieronymus Bosch Garden of Delights, sometimes called Garden of Earthly Delights, I think. But this is a painting from the late 1400s, early 1500s. And this is the artist. It's one of the most famous paintings ever. And it's a triptych, which means it's in 3 parts. Got some close-ups in the following. Look at this depiction of war. It just looks so modern. Like, it's hard to believe that it's 500 years old, isn't it? Amazing. Look at the use of light. Oh my gosh. And then here's people in the lake of fire. I guess it is. Here we have people having more fun time riding animals naked and being eaten by a flower with an owl on top. It's very, very, very trippy. Look at this with the glass tubes. These flying fish, knights in armor with fish tails. Oh, it's just crazy. The more you look, the more you see. It's the Mountain of Heresy. And then this very famous image. Like, what is even going on here? What was this guy taking? Amazing. We're so fortunate that this painting has survived. Even though I don't think we'll ever figure it out. But back to the 20th century, you can look like this nerd. And it's a zipper shirt. Oh my gosh. For the extra lazy guy. Love it. I didn't know anything like this existed. And snaps, because you just cannot be bothered. I mean, the snaps are a good idea, but some sprouts. Better living through chemistry. Englander. Airfoam mattress made with Goodyear rubber. It's like a combination. Latex and hairspray mattress. That's nice. I like that. It's probably very comfortable. Maxwell House. Good the last drop. There's more of that tissue. Tender touch. Yes, tissues. Proctor, choice of Hollywood stars, says Ron Fleming. It's a very pretty toaster. Elegant. And a beautiful Lifesavers ad. The original. I just love these old Lifesavers ads. They're so colorful and beautiful. Again, there's so many ads good for framing in this issue. And a 2-page ad for Pillsbury's Best Flour. Lovely. Making our Christmas cookies. And here we finally have some recipes for coconut, orange pecan, chocolate nut, rich plain cookies, and candied fruit cookies. All with the same basic dough, and it's just what you add to it. Sounds yummy. I like how they used to spell cookie back then. C-O-O-K-Y. I've seen this before, and I wonder at what point they started spelling cookie with an I-E. Emerson radio and televisions. Look at these gorgeous radios. Oh my gosh, wow. Look at that. Such style. Look at that too. I love looking at the antique stores and looking at the old radios. They have such great style. There's a little record player and a 10-inch television, black and white, and some beautiful ballet dancers. And more beautiful ballet dancers from the ballet Carmen Embassy cigarettes. Creme de menthe. Never seen an ad for creme de menthe, I don't think. Berkshire stockings. Look at how the whole foot used to be reinforced to make it wear better. What a beautiful dress. Mobile oil Arctic winterproof oil. Looks a lot like the car at the beginning. Yes, the gay woman will just drag you away when you wear your Arrow white shirt. Genghis Khan descendants and DPs. What is a DP? I have no idea what DP means. Gerber's baby food. Ostermoor mattress. Never heard of that. But Newtone door chimes. Doorbells. They're still around. Cat's paw rubber heels. Schlitz. The beer that made Milwaukee famous. Hot point push button cooking. Thrilling new 1950 ranges. Wow, that's a lot of oven. That's a huge stove. It's like a double wide. We have a dishwasher and a fridge, freezer. Niblets, Mexicorn, golden kernels and gay company. And then this is an article about a Jefferson Military College in Mississippi that refused millions, a gift worth millions, I think, because, $50 million, because it required that they would have to teach Christianity and the superiority of the Anglo-Saxon and Latin American races, and so they rejected the gift because they didn't want to do that. So good for them. Clorox ad. A bad stain mean the end of a good dress. Well, yeah, but bleaching it might. Sergeant Stock Care. Croton Accurator watch. You can get it wet. You can drop it. Scientific weapons in a future war. Well, this issue of Life magazine is just getting heavier and heavier, isn't it? It's based on Vannevar Bush. It's a weird name. President of the Carnegie Institute in Washington, based on his new book, Modern Arms and Freemen. Jergens face cream. What an interesting hat. Parker pen. Some more uncomfortable undergarments. Shaving cream. Brushless shaving cream in a tube. And a Swanson nuclear submarines. It's like that Star Trek episode where the people were white on one side and black on the other side. Stockings by Moshood. I don't know how you say that. And you better just know what MODAS is, because this ad isn't going to tell you. We have the jet bombers and the rockets. Because we didn't have nuclear submarines, but we did have nuclear bombs. The Yellow Pages. Valentine's Ale. America's largest selling ale. DuPont Nylon. Better Living Through Chemistry. Again. Model Toys. He's a living room engineer. The Turtles. Wow, they're still around. You know, those pecan, caramel, chocolate things that are so good. Hard rubber combs. Tums. You're going to need some Tums after reading this article about future war. Silver Star, the razor blade your face can't feel. I had to feel my face to know I shaved. Okay, dude. After 6 formal wear. Anison in a tin. A&P supermarkets. Look how much smaller turkeys used to be back then. We really bred them to be all breast. 90 years in 1949. Wow. Kohler sleep sofa. It's interesting that she's sleeping with her head down that way. Maybe that's what you have to do to avoid the bar. No, I think there's 2 bars, so no matter what you do, you're going to get the bar. And we're finally at the cover story on page 133 about pearls. What a lovely dress. I wonder what color it is. That's what I always wonder when I see black and white pictures. And they're showing you the difference in price between real pearls back then, because they hadn't done cultured pearls as much, so they were just sort of naturally found. So that's why this necklace was $350,000 in 1949. But here you got here's some cultured pearls for $350, where they're sort of like farmed pearls, and then here you have your fake pearls for $35 for 80 inches at Bergdorf's. And come to Santa Fe. Some more ways to wear your pearls. At 69 Scotch. And then these are the cultured pearls. These are the real pearls. And these are the artificial pearls. And look at this great Oster blender. I love the design of this. Seagram 7. And Nabisco shredded wheat. I really like these colorful plates. Oh, you can eat it cold or you can eat it hot. Huh. I didn't know people did that. Nuns playing basketball. And dance. They're gonna get in trouble. Girard, Perregaux, fine watches, Southwind car heater, plus safe conditioned air. Roma wine. Cry the Beloved Country on Broadway. Eagle knit, cold weather wear, American Express travelers checks. Fleischmann's whiskey, yes, is the same as the yeast people. Absorbine Jr. high school football rivalry between Wisconsin and Michigan. Some men's wallets with this weird gold-colored trim. Sam Spade says Edgeworth is America's finest pipe tobacco. Don't you trust Sam Spade? Calvert. Does it say it's a whiskey? And over here, more Calvert. Thormeyer mixer. Whatever happened to this company? It's kind of like a KitchenAid. You can have the different attachments. Meat grinder, juicer. Life publishes the first picture taken by an ape. And here it is. See, his name's Cookie with an I-E. I have questions. And Canadian Club whiskey. It's quite an odd whiskey ad. And on the back cover, we have a gorgeous Coca-Cola ad. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's really something. Look at these futuristic looking cars. And the giant, it's like 2001 A Space Odyssey, but it's a Coke machine. And that's the end of this flip through, this gorgeous issue of Life magazine. Again, thank you, Teresa and Jeff, for giving me this beautiful magazine. If you enjoyed this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
This is a very nice full-color ad for Ford Galaxy. And astronaut Gus Grissom training 7-Up ad. Beautiful gown. Live better electrically. Vista Car Wax by Simon Eyes. A beautiful ad for his Cadillac. Hello and welcome to Dreaming of the Past. Today we're going to flip through this issue of Life magazine from May 9th, 1960. And on the cover, it features the actress Yvette Mimieux. And she was in the movie The Time Machine in 1960, and she was also in the Disney movie The Black Hole. So let's get started. Look at the color of this AMC Rambler. Love that color. What a cute little car. And then here's an ad for Listerine. Listerine is for breath. Toothpaste is for teeth. Hallmark cards when you care enough to send the very best. So men's electric razor by Sunbeam, the Roll Master, and a coupon for 10 cents off of Hellman's Italian dressing. But it expired on September 1st, 1960. And people enjoying Seagram's whiskey in their palace. And here's an adorable 19-inch Admiral portable TV with a wireless remote control. These look so uncomfortable. These girdles, Old Spice shaving cream. Some ad for Dacron synthetic fibers by DuPont, showing that it was a popular fabric for nurses' uniforms and factory workers. And an ad for L&M cigarettes. Patented miracle tip. And premium saltine crackers. They really have not changed much at all, have they? The League of Honest Coffee Lovers. Publisher Alfred Knopf. Pictures of famous authors like Thomas Mann, Willa Cather, Jean-Paul Sartre, Camus. Here's the Dodge Dart. And a Plymouth station wagon. Wow, look at that. The fins and the white walls. That's a cool car. Eat Special K to get extra protein. For life insurance. Jockey Scene Free Boxers. Swift's Premium Standing Rib of Beef. Gilby's Gin and Vodka, an adorable little mini 850 by VMC. And they also sold Austin Healey's and Morris under $1,300 in 1960. And this is an article about the presidential campaign in West Virginia. The election was in November. Well, would be in November. This is in May. And there's Kennedy talking with coal miners. And this is Hubert Humphrey. Humphrey's campaign bus, Kennedy, and Franklin D. Roosevelt Jr. It's Humphrey again. There's Kennedy. And here's an ad of a guy examining oysters for Campbell soup. I don't know why that needed to be a full-color ad, but okay. This is a very nice full-color ad for Ford Galaxy. It's a cool car. I wish it was a photo instead of a drawing. And for Rosesburg, here's a picture of the new capital of Brazil, Brasilia. And this is a little item about how a guy robbed a liquor store and also stole the clerk's pants so that he wouldn't chase after him. And an ad for the Hammond organ. Look at all the fun these people are having. I think this is the worst Kotex ad I've ever seen. Like, this is really bad. This ad for fishing lures is actually better. I mean, don't you want a weedless spoon? This is a beautiful ad for Revlon lipstick and nail polish in Pango Peach. Beautiful colors. Look at the weird handle on the cap for the nail polish. Looks kind of awkward. It's a really beautiful ad though. And Hunt's ketchup on scrambled eggs. I don't like ketchup on scrambled eggs personally. And I also prefer Heinz ketchup. This next article is about the debates they were having in California over capital punishment as they were preparing for the execution of Carol Chessman, who never murdered anybody, but he did attack some women, and they got him on kidnapping charges, which made him eligible for the death penalty, and he was executed. There was a lot of debate over that in the state. It had more Western Union telegrams. A beautiful ad for his Cadillac. That is just gorgeous. And every Cadillac needs some tires. So here's the Firestone Nylon 500 with Power Tread. Firestone gives you action traction. New Angel Face with cosmetic silicones lets you change your skin tones. You can wear any fashion color. Art Carney on TV. Better Living by Boardwater. Resistance is futile. Quite a yellow and brown life these people lead. Pure Coffee Nectar. Instant Chase and Sanborn coffee. And here's an article about the Mercury astronauts who were still in training. And this was written by Alan Shepard, who was the first one to go into space. And Life magazine had an exclusive deal with following the training of the astronauts. Samsonite king-size folding table. shepherd training in the Mercury capsule in the pool. And astronaut Gus Grissom training in the water, also with the Navy. In Florida, an adorable little red convertible, Lark by Studebaker. Never heard of that. Fleischmann's Whiskey. Max Factor, California case baits, matching lipstick cases and makeup compacts, inspired by famous California designers. These are beautiful. I bet these are very collectible nowadays. They're lovely. And in the tire competition between Firestone and Goodyear, here's Goodyear's precision-built turnpike-proof tires. 7-Up ad, that beautiful gown, all of that. Telephone system, long distance. Wow, look at that purple carpet. That is beautiful. Those Heavenly Carpets by Leaves. It's a lovely photo spread of water lilies. Here's some yellow ones. Some beautiful yellow and purple and pink ones. And red water lilies. Insured Savings and Loan Associations. Infant seat. The gift new mothers will bless you for. So you can just put the baby in the middle of the floor. Early Times Bourbon. Do these two ads go together? Is that what she's really doing over there? And here's a bunch of men awkwardly spending time in the outdoors. This Van Heusen ad. Showing you some different large hoop earrings, which were in fashion at the time. Robert Knickerbocker beer. Robert, people have a thirst for living. I really like that dress. It's cute. Live better electrically. When mom has to be away, electricity babies pop in the kids. Cooks without flame, dries without fumes. Heats water without flame, heats the house without dirt. Means better living. Full strength horseshoes canned in Florida. And here we have the cover story with Yvette Mimieux. She was only 18 at the time. Here's an ad with Ava Gabor in a gorgeous gown for Smirnoff vodka. This issue has part 4 of a 6-part series on Greece. Some great cover photos. Traditional Greek dress. Greek royal family, Greek Orthodox priest. This is a wonderful picture of the Acropolis in the background. And in the foreground, modern Greece with the neon signs for Swissair, BOAC. Very cool. The Kellogg's Cereal Variety Pack. Rice Krispies, Corn Flakes, Special K, OKs, and Frosted Flakes. Pilots prefer Marlboros, I guess. It's a feature article about people who did not complete high school but have gone back to school for job training. Here's some of the students learning how to do jobs, like working at the Humane Society. She is a caregiver at a hospital, working in restaurants. Boise, Idaho chariot races, and serve half peaches with your hamburger and your meatloaf, apparently. Interesting. Avon colognes for men. The Sunbeam canister vac. I didn't know that Sunbeam made vacuum cleaners. Smart. Chariot races in Boise. This is an article about how retail banking is changing the bank a less formal place and giving patrons gifts. Apparently having ice skating shows in the lobby of the bank. Look at all of these great 1960 little electronic radios, all powered with Melina Mercouri batteries. Canvas shoes, competitor to Chuck Taylor's tablets for poison ivy. Okay, I don't think that's a thing. Texaco invites you to write a prize-winning TV commercial. I wonder who won. They were offering a all-expense-paid vacation for 2 to Hawaii. Hygiene eye drops, Huffy lawnmowers, Ever-Ready garden products, like battery people Ever-Ready. They also made pesticides. Ad for a mobile home, showing you the layout, how nicely furnished you can make it. You can play croquet out front. There's an ad for Clearasil. It starves pimples. Dandruff free in 3 minutes by the clock with Fitch dandruff remover shampoo. Scott's lawn treatment. Weatherproof pop tent. When you purchase these dog food products. That's such a cute ad. Vista Car Wax by Simon Eyes. This pink wax in the bright gold can. And this final article is about Charles de Gaulle visiting the U.S. It's for men's clothing. And cat jumping onto a tree. Old Crow bourbon. A lot of bourbon ads in this issue. And on the back cover, Salem cigarettes. Air softens every puff. Still bad for you. Well, that's the end of this issue of Life magazine. If you enjoyed this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hello and welcome to Dreaming of the Past. Today we are going to look through this issue of Life magazine that's all about Japan. And it's from September 11th, 1964. So we have this beautiful cover of a woman in a kimono bowling. And the cover also has this little flap so you can see the rest of the picture. So this issue is only about Japan, but there's still plenty of great ads in here too, so let's get started. And the first ad we have is for Clairol Cream Toner. Now you can be a blonde of summer all year long. And Accutron watches. Accutron time. Is it ever wrong? Well, probably sometime. Accutron astronaut. And I really like the bracelet on this watch. It's very unusual. Letter from the editor. Aetna life insurance. Kind of a strange ad. But then we have this really cool ad for Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs in full color. picture of the Trevi fountain, it looks like, in Rome. Back there. Yes, it's just as Italian as real spaghetti. This is no way for you to judge a suit. This is the wool mark. Assures you of the finest wool in the world. And here's a 2-page ad for the Time Reading Program. Which is interesting. I've never heard of this before. They send you some works of classic literature for young people. Like Bridge Over the River Kwai and Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. And here we begin our feature on Japan. This is a group of girls at a Western-style rock concert. And this is a picture from an earthquake the previous year. All these oil tanks exploded. But then over here in this picture, this is mountain is set ablaze at an annual festival in Nara. And we have some Japanese men harvesting seaweed. And here they are processing pollock and working in a rice paddy. This is a beautiful color photograph of a candle lighting ceremony at a Buddhist cemetery near Kyoto. What a beautiful picture. And people at some bathhouses. Here's some people getting a mud bath. And this is an annual festival where up to 8,000 youths clad in loincloths scramble for a stick thrown in their midst by a priest. The one who retrieves it brings himself happiness and fortune. Archery on horseback, wearing traditional dress. And this is a baseball game. Baseball, very popular in Japan. Here's a great 2-page ad for Firestone tires. Firestone's all-new nylon 500 with wraparound tread and gold stripe styling. Fancy. Yes. Perfect for hauling around your water skis. Canada Dry sparkling grapefruit beverage. That's interesting. You can mix it with lime sherbet. And here is an article about the U.S. ambassador to Japan. Lee Riders jeans, the brand working cowboys wear. Old Crow Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. That's cute. New Harley Davidson M50, only $225. Wow, that's really cool. And then over here we have some more Harley Davidson models. The Sportster, the Sprint, the Scat, the Pacer. Very cool. No helmets, of course, because it's the 60s. And then over here, Anderson window walls. That is a lot of windows for this house. The house has too many windows. Another insurance ad, this time for Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. And then we have Sargent's flea products for your dog. We have flea shampoo and vitamins and minerals. Vitapet powder. Lee's carpet. Textured carpet. I don't know what you call this sort of pattern that's cut into the carpet. And a Remington cordless razor. Remington electronic, no E in front. Electronic tube. Since we converted to flameless electric heating, we feel like we're living in a brand new home. You live better electrically. Edison Electric Institute. And then this little box here is showing you the different types of flameless electric heating, like baseboard heaters or a heat pump or ceiling cables, invisible. It's interesting. I've never heard of this before. And then central air throughout the whole house. Even my houseplants do better now that we have electric heat. And now we have an article about sports in Japan because they were getting ready to host the Olympics in October of 1964. So here's a Japanese woman playing volleyball. And we have judo and young boys hoping to be sumo wrestlers one day, and a high school baseball player. And here we have people enjoying various athletic activities. We have these slides that go down into this pool. And then here we have ski jumping. And here, look at this. It looks just like Topgolf. We have 3 levels of people driving golf balls. And here's a very crowded bridge to fish for trout near Tokyo. And more volleyball. And here are some Chesterfield people. Black and white Buchanan's blended Scotch whiskey with a little Scotty dog and a Westie. Now we have an article about the Emperor of Japan and his family. This is the Emperor Hirohito. And this is them just showing how the Emperor is just a normal person digging clams like everybody else. And this is a great picture. Here we have Hirohito's son, Akihito, and his wife, Princess Michiko, and their son, Naruhito. And Akihito became the emperor after his father, but then he abdicated, and now his son, Naruhito, is the current emperor of Japan. And he's only 4 years old here. And then opposite, we have an ad for Kent cigarettes. The famous Micronite filter. And this is an article about how the story of Japan's past is told through art. This is a 4th century carved figure. And then these two are from the 12th century. One of the 12th century wars destroyed social order. Minamoto warriors rout imperial guards in flame-swept Kyoto. And here's an 8th century Buddhist scroll. Well, it's an 8th century picture illustrating an older Buddhist scroll. And here we have some 16th century art. We have a depiction of whale hunting. 14th century kitchen, cooking fish. And then we have telling the story of Portuguese traders coming to Japan in the 16th century, opening them up to the west. There's Commodore Matthew Perry. Satsuma Rebellion in 1877. Now this article, we're moving into the 20th century and the rise of military control of Japanese society during that time. a watch from the atomic bomb blast at Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. And then, speaking of World War II, here's an ad for a Volkswagen bus. That's a really great looking Volkswagen bus right there. It'd be worth a lot of money today. Look at this wonderful ad for Tab Cola. 1 calorie cola from Coca-Cola Company. And look at this bottle. Isn't that beautiful? Love that. One of the few flights Shell doesn't fuel. More insurance, Continental Insurance Companies. Our motto, neither a Scrooge nor a Patsy bee. And this is an ad for wear-dated shirts and slacks. Acrylan acrylic fiber is made by Chemstrand, New York, a division of Monsanto. Here's the other part of this ad. Again, saying like, did you notice that this is made by Monsanto? Over here, it's a very strange ad telling you to encourage physical fitness in your kids, but that seems like an odd way to do it. And Bell telephone system. It's easy to telephone Japan. New station-to-station rate. The cost for calling Japan is lower than ever. Just $9. $6.75 on Sunday, plus tax for the first 3 minutes. That was very expensive in 1964. Coupon to fill out for a catalog of film strips to show in your classroom. And we have some uncomfortable 60s undergarments. This time by Chemstrand by our friend Monsanto again, but this time in blue. This is a terrible ad for mutual funds. How easy it is to mix 12 perfect daiquiris in 30 seconds flat. Well, don't drink them all at once. And then Bluettes, world's most comfortable household gloves for $1.69. And a very orange ad for Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Look how cute they did the Kellogg's logo with fruit in it. It's cute. Avon for men. And Miller High Life, the champagne of bottled beer. So, place your bets. Which one's her husband? Which one's her boyfriend? What do you think? The Zippo guide for new pipe smokers. And here this navy lighter that they're featuring, it says, with its owner R.F. Jackson, this Zippo lighter rounded Cape Horn 9 times in 1942 searching for German ships. It still works today. It's showing you how to smoke a pipe. And then over here, Zippo lighter fuel. And now we have some auto insurance, this time Motors Insurance Corporation, subsidiary of General Motors. Look at these great 60s cars through this beautiful fall scenery. And this article is Japanese writer Yukio Mishima talking about his thoughts about the United States' relationship with Japan. Do something about cavities now. Get Colgate, the big one. It's a terrifyingly large tube of toothpaste. And Merriam-Webster's 7th new collegiate dictionary. I wonder what number they're up to now. Proven aid to better grades. Dr. Scholl's. Carhartt work clothes. That's interesting. Pipe tobacco and a filter cigarette. Half to half. Half and half. I've never heard of this before. And an adorable little Honda motorcycle. Again, who's ever heard of a helmet? Why would we need one of those? And there's an article about the rebellious youth of Japan. Just like the rebellious youth everywhere in the 60s. Street fighting. And oh no, they're listening to the devil's music and dancing. They're talking on the telephone and having parties at the beach. Oh no, those rebellious youth. I want to go to an Italian beach or to Saint-Tropez. Well, I hope that you got to, Yoko. Because yes, her name is Yoko. Short story by Masao Yamakawa, and Simmons Mattresses, supersized beauty rest mattress. You see here, looks like they went from like a full to a king. And here's an article about young women who work, I guess, sort of as hostesses, you could say. Color ad for Gala paper towels. Isn't that an adorable little kettle? World's greatest sleeping pills, Bemco mattresses. That's a cute ad, I like that. And Hunt's tomato ketchup. Who ever heard of tomatoes getting a shower? Hunt's tomatoes do in cool, clear water. And we simmer them slowly in big kettles. So you wash the tomatoes? Is that something that was unusual at the time? And Amoco tires. We had some Firestones earlier. And Esquire socks. This family is expecting a new car. And then we have DuPont carcinogenic chemicals all over this raincoat to make it stain resistant. And this looks yummy. Ad for Ritz crackers, but they're spicy stuffed clams. Those look delicious. So these are cherry stone clams, and you mix with diced onions, garlic, green pepper, pimento, Tabasco, Ritz crackers, an egg, butter, clam juice, and top with pieces of 8 cooked bacon strips. Sounds delicious. Unlike most of the other weird recipes that you see in magazines at the time. Bear aspirin. Cluster color coordinates. And White Owl cigars. Oh, and that's Dennis Day. And he was a singer. He was on the Jack Benny program for a long time. Subscribe to Life magazine for only 10 cents a copy. And then the last article in this issue is about Mr. Matsushita, a very wealthy industrialist in Japan, the head of the Matsushita Corporation. You see, they made all kinds of electronics, heavy equipment, but also they ran like hotels. Just one of those Japanese companies that is in a lot of different industries. There's Mr. Matsushita. And here he is with his grandson, Hiroyuki. So cute. And then we have Seagram's Canadian whiskey. Because, you know, you really should be drunk while you're out there sailing. And don't forget the cigarettes. We have Viceroy filter tips. Here, light my cigarette, honey. I'm too busy holding this tennis racket. So that's the end of this issue all about Japan. If you enjoyed this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!